Wokeness is not a rare pitfall that a few kids shows stumble into. This stuff is totally pervasive. It's everywhere. The majority of children's programming is like this. It is the rule, not the exception, which means you can either be hyper-vigilant and aware and exercise strict control over what your children watch and the kind of media they consume, or they will ingest a steady diet of LGBT propaganda starting before they can talk. Well, Netflix has had a difficult week. Thousands of people, including Elon Musk, are canceling their Netflix subscriptions after libs of TikTok posted a particularly disturbing clip from a Netflix children's show. Before we play the clip, keep in mind that this show is several years old. It's been on Netflix's platform apparently for about 4 or 5 years. This is not something that just appeared last week. So children have been exposed to this for years before anyone noticed. And this is from a show called Dead End Paranormal Park, which is rated Y7, meaning that it's supposed to be appropriate for kids at the age of 7 and up. So watch.
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney. And I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier. And that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots. Pugsley reminded me how important it is to live your life without apology.
Now, that's bad enough, but, this is one clip that's gone viral. It's not as though the trans angle was mentioned just that one time. The entire plot revolves around it. The protagonist is, according to Wikipedia anyway, a, quote, gay trans teen boy. And the protagonist's best friend in the show is a bisexual, autistic, Pakistani-American girl with social anxiety. So they really checked all the boxes. The creator of this show is someone named Hamish Steele, who lists his pronouns as he, they. It won't surprise you to learn that Hamish attacked Charlie Kirk only a day after he was shot, calling him a Nazi. So this is a delusional and deranged extremist producing content for 7-year-old children to watch, and Netflix is happy to provide a platform for it. This is far from the only show of this type on Netflix. Libs of TikTok has posted several other similar examples over the past couple of days. More trans propaganda, gay weddings featured in children's cartoons, and so on. Everything you would expect. For example, here's a clip from a show called Ada Twist Scientist. And again, this is targeted at 7-year-olds. Here it is.
Are you excited for your big day?
I can't wait to kick things off.
Thanks for making our special day happen. We can't wait for all our family and friends to visit our favorite place in the world.
We all wanted to help, even Professor Flowerbomb.
I couldn't miss Sensei Dave's big day. He taught me how to really smash stuff.
Oh?
Now, let's get ready to romance.
Wow! I can't wait for my mom to feast her eyes on this. I haven't seen her in way too long.
Now, in case you're wondering, Netflix does not save its LGBT indoctrination for kids 7 and older. That would be bad enough. They also have plenty of preschool LGBT programming. Here's a show called Gecko's Garage, aimed at 2-year-olds, featuring in one episode, gay pride parade.
Come on, Red, you can do it.
I'm so proud of you all. Let the carnival continue.
Now, as I often point out, and can't help but point out again, these are among the many other problems, these are ugly shows. And that's before you even get to the wokeness and the gay stuff. The animation is ugly. It's totally lifeless. It's dead. There's no artistry here, just bright colors and noise. Nobody involved in producing these shows has any respect for their audience of children, nor do they take any pride in their work. They have gay pride, but they don't have any artistic pride. There's no charm to it. It's just, this is not art. It's dull. It's empty. It's worthless. And that should be reason enough to prohibit your children from watching it. Just looking at that show before you even see the pride flags, and you look at the way that it's animated and everything, and that should be enough when you look at that to say, no, I'm not gonna have my kids watch this. It's the audio and visual version of like giving your kids soda and potato chips for dinner. Why would you do it? As for the messaging, as a parent, you have to understand that that, and I think most parents at this point do understand that wokeness is not a rare pitfall that a few kid shows stumble into. I mean, Libs of TikTok has been the last 2 days just posting clip after clip from all kinds of Netflix shows. It's like the whole platform. This stuff is totally pervasive. It's everywhere. The majority of children's programming is like this. It is the rule, not the exception, which means you can either be hyper-vigilant and aware and exercise strict control over what your children watch and the kind of media they consume, or they will ingest a steady diet of LGBT propaganda starting before they can talk. From Congress to your children's schools, there is a culture war raging across America. For the moms watching, I don't have to tell you this, you're living it. I want to make you aware then of Concerned Women for America, the nation's largest public policy Christian women's organization. For 45 years, they've been leading the charge as your voice in all levels of public policy. CWA knows what a woman is. CWA trains women to become grassroots leaders, speak, testify, lobby, and from their Young Women for America's collegiate chapters to moms, professionals, mature women, they're the most influential women's organization in our nation, hands down. The issues they confront are not going away. So this is your chance to step in, speak up, and shape what your daughters will inherit. CWA is here for that moment, and they help women like you turn conviction into clarity and clarity into action. I'm asking you to support their efforts today. For a donation of $20 or more, you'll get a copy of their new book written by CEO and President Penny Nance, A Woman's Guide, 7 Rules for Success in Business and Life. This book's an incredible gift for any young woman graduating or just beginning her professional career. Go to concernedwomen.org/Walsh for your copy today. Again, that's concernedwomen.org/Walsh. Those are your two options. So-called, helicopter parents get a bad rap, but when it comes to media, you're either going to be a helicopter parent or a neglectful one. There really is not much room in between. You can either hover over your children and very closely monitor what they're watching, or you can entrust them into the hands of weird degenerates like Hamish Steele. Again, there is not any moderate compromise here. And the stakes, I don't need to tell you, are very high. This is not a small or superfluous issue. I know there are some people on the right who treat this kind of issue like it is. So it's like, well, why are you talking about woke? Why are you talking about children's programming? What does that matter? Are there more important things happening in the world? There's some more important things happening. But this is very, very important. Because the goal of this kind of propaganda, and the reason they put it in shows aimed at kindergartners, is obviously to normalize what they're showing on screen. The great obstacle that LGBT activists face is that all the things they're pushing, transgenderism, gender fluidity, gay weddings, all that stuff, all of that is abnormal. And a person's immediate gut level reaction when they see something that is abnormal is to recoil. So LGBT activists are pushing against not just human nature, but thousands of years of human history. The campaign to normalize transgenderism in particular only really began in earnest on a national scale about 10 years ago. So for most adults in this country, it was just too late. And we're noticing that now. It's a hopeless battle for the trans activists. You can harangue and harass and threaten a lot of people in the hopes of coercing them into going along with your agenda obediently. But you can't fundamentally convince them that it's normal and not weird for a man to walk around in a dress. This is the problem that trans activists are facing. It's why they've lost most of the cultural ground that they gained over the past decade. It's because the propaganda doesn't stick. They gained a lot of ground mostly by coercing, threatening, harassing people, cancel culture, all the rest of it. But that, the fear mongering, the scare tactics, they lose their sting after a while. And then what these trans activists found is like, that's all they had. Because when you don't have the scare tactics, people just revert back to their natural state, which is when you see a guy in a dress, it's weird. Like you can't take it seriously. And that's what they're up against. But what if you start younger? I mean, what if you start much, much younger? Can you essentially change the factory settings on the human mind by exposing children to these bizarre concepts almost as soon as they emerge from the womb? Can you construct basically an alternate reality for children and keep them in it? One that is totally divorced from reality itself. Can you essentially override that gut level instinct that causes human beings to naturally recoil from things that are unnatural and disordered? That's the gambit. And the thing is that in a world where we're surrounded by media all the time, where the average person spends nearly every waking hour consuming media in some form or another, it might actually be possible. If you start young enough and they're totally consumed by this stuff, it might be possible. It might be possible to create a generation of humans who actually don't instinctively recognize that a guy in a dress who says he's a girl, that there's something wrong there. They don't even instinctively, they really don't even recognize that as a problem instinctively. You might be able to create a generation of people like that. That's the experiment that these people are running right now. And it's why this stuff is everywhere in kids' programming. Because they're running this experiment on our children, on your children. Netflix is running this experiment. And they're one of the worst offenders. Which is why we should all say that Netflix, in both a literal and figurative sense, is today canceled. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.